one more. I'll show you this one. Nope. Let's here's another code example. This is again the same. These are SVG diagrams, and they change based on the input here. So if I change this to 10, the height of this changes and the dimensions of the bends change here as well. So these are just examples of little things, little projects, all prototype projects that use the SVG stuff I'm working on. So you can change the tube length or tube diameter, tube length here. And this is not a great example of the end result I want. It's a good example. It shows the idea. The execution could be improved for sure. So that's why I want to make this library more robust, a little more friendly. I will show one final thing. I lied when I said it was final before. Here's another one where you can, the idea here is you specify, this is not a design I actually ended up building, but you can control key parameters and it updates live the design drawings, and you can even rotate it. This is not a great use case because I mean, it's fully in browser recalculating SVG path data every time you change a value, so it's just not efficient. You could definitely improve this, but as a concept it was pretty neat. I was pretty happy with that. And as a concept here, having controls for key parameters built into a document of the design, changing the document as it goes, is another really interesting, intriguing use case for the kind of stuff I want to work on. So that is the background and motivation for the SVG library. And today in particular, I'm working on a dev branch to mess around with fixing and like improving the user experience of using things like translate and rotate. Those are the goals for the day. I want to work on ideas related to thread last and thread first macros, that sort of thing. Clean up bits and pieces of the code as I go. And that's the deal. And I've got a sorry, let me go to the right directory here. CLJ m test will run the tests that I'm working on. So I'm going to do some basic test-driven development as I change things around and just see how that goes. Yeah, that's the deal. So to get into tests here, let's do this. The other reason is, this here is an example page that is useful for visual confirmation, because when you're making graphics, your functions can all work and generate output, but you get a really quick sense of if the output makes sense by just looking at things, right? So in this particular one, it shows what's a good example here? Examples. Here, for example, I do believe if I do this, rotate 45, then I have to run it again for a minute. So there we go. It rotated things, and a bunch of these things successfully rotate without any real issues. Images seem to work fine. This group works okay. Polygons are working fine. The lines seem to work. Everything is kind of working except for this here, and this is also, it has the wrong bounding box. So those are the kinds of things that you can debug visually a little bit. I'm not going to worry about those particular examples today. I'm going to focus on improving transforms a little bit. So in order to do that, I want to actually write a new test. So let's do let's do a translate test here. Everything is working right. It is working okay stream-wise. Just I'm just double checking that I'm actually streaming the way I think I am. Sorry, a little mental pause there for a minute. Show player. Seemed good. Hopefully things are good on the viewer's end. I'm just gonna trust that it's okay for now and go from there. Okay, so that, oops, there we go. Final little test / promotion. Yes, okay. We're cooking. We're good. I have a YouTube channel as well. That's what the link is there for. So check it out if you want. If you like this stuff and want to see non-live content, I do more focused little things on my programming things, little projects, explanations, that sort of thing. Okay, so this translate thing, I want, let's do def translate test. No, that's a little silly maybe. Let's do this, def test. Okay. List translating list test. Yes, I guess that's okay. All right, so what do I mean by that? Let's do this. Let A be right, so A is just going to be rectangle is fine, 10, 20. Doesn't matter all that much. well, actually, wait a minute. Let's just do repeat. Oh, oh no. Trying to turn on. Save that. There, okay, kind of. Sorry, so here, let's do this. Repeat 10. There we go. Power edit mode is enabled. I still have to I have to force myself to keep trying to use it, power edit mode, because it just takes practice to learn it, and I'm sure it'll be faster, but I just need to force myself, that's all. All right, so is equal. Let's do well, so basically what we want to make sure is that we want this translate A to have the same output as map translate element oh, and we should do this. We should, it doesn't matter what the number is, but we'll make it kind of cool, or half of these, just cause here okay, so this should fail right now, and let's see that it does. Ah, of course. Test namespace here. Okay. Let's try this again. Perfect. Well, I mean, it failed, but it failed like I wanted it to. Right, so this is hard to read. I can't read it. I'm not going to try read it. What I'm going to do instead is close all this. Try to use a bit of TDD to help improve implementations, starting with better transform functions. Right. So to get this going, let's just get in the test namespace. Why not, right? It makes more sense to do that. So here, let's see if I if I kind of recreate this in the REPL, I'm going to def A as repeat 10, rectangle 10, 20, A, there you go. If I translate that, 510 A, it nests everything one level after another. Not at all what I want. What I want is that result to look like basically this. If I instead map this, there you go. That's what I want it to actually appear like. Is that actually a good idea though? I'm trying to think, that's what I'm trying to think about. Let me open up a comparison program here, open SCAD, to try and kind of model a little bit of that behavior into, let's see. This is just a brief tangent into thinking about how this stuff works. So let me just get rid of that. So what I want to do here is see translate zero, 10, 0. Should work directly on something like a circle. Oh, let's do a sphere. Yeah. Okay, so it works. I would also like it to work on the same, like a nested version of this. Oops. Which I can make a little easier to read by doing this. Right? Yeah. Let's do this instead. Right, so basically here, translate works on a single item, but it also works directly on a list of items. In the context of OpenSCAD, anyway, that's what's happening. So let's just move this here. So that's why I kind of wanted both that's why I kind of want the interface function that calls into the Sorry, I'm just trying to think about how I'm actually implementing this. This is hard. This is actually hard to think about, in case you haven't noticed. Okay, so here, right, I've got this interface, and I'm trying to fix up this translate function to work in a more intelligent manner. What might make sense is something like this. Where I've got translate element called directly on LM, but then I need to wrap this because what I want to try is a multi-arity version where XY LM and LMs. So in this case, what you do is let's see. Conj translate element LM. Of course, I have to pass it the arguments XY here as well. And then this will be map translate element XY as a lambda onto elements. Is that going to work? Oops, I put it in the wrong folder, but so it goes. Okay, here we go. So let's try translate 2 on A. Not going to work. Oh, of course. I would have to do it this way. Apply. That's still not going to work. Right. Time to rethink a little bit. Oh, shoot. Right. So, wait a second. Maybe I've seen something like this before. Let's do. Always head over here and see what is in this great library. In SCAD, there's a dispatch. Nope, not there. Here. Nope, sorry, it was in here. So here, the multi-method dispatch function, I can add a few things in here. give it a shot. So what I could do is something along the lines of, is there a default? I'm not sure if I've done a default. Well, so I could do something like this. If keyword otherwise list, then if you get a list, what you do is map translate element is this gonna work? I wonder. Onto the list. Okay. If that works, that might solve my problem entirely and I don't need to dispatch, but I have to kind of think through that a little bit, right? Yeah, so it's still failing, and that's still okay. I can always work on it. So I would like to load file SVG-CLJ transforms.cljc. Right, so now I have a translate element which 510 first A is this whole thing. Oh, this is still wrong. Why did that not sorry, I'm a little bit confused why this isn't working the way I thought it should. I'm just thinking through this a little bit. So what I expected is translate element to work on a list of elements now, because what I thought would happen is this def multi would, well, maybe let me restart the, I'll restart the session just to see if reloading it all will make a difference. I'm not sure if it will. That's the lazy solution. Let's see. Okay, now def a repeat 10 s rectangle 510. A is that. Translate element a. Yeah, wrong number of arguments as usual. Let's do 510. There we go. Okay, so that's a step in the right direction. Let's run the test. Still fails, of course, because if I do, instead of just translate element, I just do translate. Oop, that was a total failure there. All right. Yeah, so it still has that weird nesting issue. However, I might not need that interface at all, because I might have solved the problem with just updating the dispatch function to include a list situation. That could be a good win at right there, actually. Quick way to find out. Well, let's also do translate element first A, right? Should work on just a single thing. Seems to. Right, let's do this. Let's get rid of the translate interface entirely. And we'll just change all of these to translate. And I don't need to do this either. Wonder if this is a wise decision or not. Time will tell. Whoops. Okay, I think that's everything. Hopefully. Let's sysman restart. See what happens. Tests will fail or I have to do this. Ooh, unable to resolve translate element in this context. Okay, that's maybe good. Let's try this again. Did something wrong. Let's try one more time. What? Still. Yeah, okay, fine. Search forward. Oh yeah. Let's see if that's good. Hopefully it is. Okay, there we go. So we have things kind of working here. Now let's run the tests and see if we get failures beyond just the one that I expect to be failing. What? Okay. Oh yeah, naturally this isn't gonna work. Okay, that's a bit of a win. All right, I'm gonna go to the washroom and get myself more coffee. I will be right back, but I'm feeling good about that. That's a huge step in the right direction, absolutely. All right, be right back. Oh, sorry, I gave myself a brief moment of not thinking. So I think I solved a bit of a problem I was having, but what I'd actually like to do to double check that is re-eval. Let me do this. Load file, sort, oh no, examples / basics.cljc should re-render this, I think. Let me check that that's actually true. I'm not sure. I might be re-rendering nothing. Oh my goodness, this file's huge. Lots of text, lots of code, all that junk. It's not junk, but there's a lot of it. Right, so examples. I'm just save that. Tangled. Load the file. Refresh this. It does. Okay. So things are looking pretty positive, actually, to be quite honest. Right, it looks as if the translates are working as I expected with no problems, which is just so good. I'm very happy with that. Yeah. All right, all right. May have solved the problem. Now, okay, things seem to be working. That's really good. Okay. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Yeah. Okay, so here, next thing to work on. Oh, I should do this. Yeah. I also, oops, that is not what I meant. No, this should, I don't really need more tests than this, I don't think. I think that's good. I'm gonna go with it for now, anyway. There we go. Rotate. I'm gonna do a basic rotate test. Load this file. No? No? What? There we go. All right, test circle, rotate 0, or 4, sorry, test circle. Right, so it should, yeah, okay, good. Oops, gotta do this. All right, just make all the rotate functions work like this. Should be okay. I think this should all work. We'll see soon enough. Ooh, might run into issues with some of this actually, now that I think about it. Due to not incorrect rotation, but to the fact that it'll make floating point numbers, and testing exact equality for floats is maybe not great. So that I'll have to probably, almost certainly, that was whistly, almost certainly have to rework that a little bit. Okay, so I mean, we'll save it. It's not going to be right yet, but I can do stuff like this. So this ellipse should very likely have the same thing here. This line won't have the same points. Neither will the test path, nor polygon or polyline. The rectangle is good. Noticing an inconsistency here. This one should also be fairly easy. Right, so there will be failures here, I do believe, but let's give it a shot. See what happens, see what it reports. There's gotta be 8 failures. Wow. Yeah, so the report is basically fail and rotate tests. Oh, of course. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's failing. So here, even the radius is the same. The translate was 1010, so actually this should even be 0, 0. This ellipse should also be 0, 0. Like this. Yeah. Line is whatever. That won't be, we'll ignore these for the time being. This rectangles, width, height, just trying to look through this is going to be -30 and -15 is the default. Width and height stay the same and the rotate changes. Yeah. Right, so using that, oh, also this then should be, so test image, yeah, -100 is the X and 150 there. Oops. Again, we should see some failures, but I think we should only see 1, 2, 3, 4 assertion failures. Yes, and they should all be line, path, polygon, polyline. Let's see if that's true. Line, path, polygon, and polyline. Great, it's failing the way I expect. So this here, this is why I didn't write it, because it's a huge mess of floats, which I'm going to think about later. Because what I want to do first, so here I'll cheat my way to an easier test pass situation. So the 4 that are failing are just commented out for now. only because of rounding related things with floats. I don't want to do an equality test with those. I want to figure out a way that testing it is simpler, but still shows the right kind of stuff. But the reason I'm setting up a rotate thing at all is to set up basically something like this. The rotate this should just be translate list test, not yeah. Okay, so currently rotate element still exists. I haven't removed it. This translate element I'm going to get rid of. Rotate element like this. Okay, so using that setup, I expect to see one failure. Okay, well, that's worse in a way. It was a code error. Okay. Right, so, of course, this is a little foolish of me. That has to be like that. There we go. So that will fix the error, and I should hopefully successfully run the code but see an assertion failure. Hopefully. Yes, okay. And, excuse me, apologies, a little bit tired there. So let's define A to be repeat 10, rectangle 510. Translate works. Rotate does not. Okay, so we'll fix it the same way as we did with translate, and hopefully that will solve that particular issue. Right, so to do that, it was pretty simple. We just have to modify this. And in fact, this actually is it's going to be exactly the same as this. There's no difference. So we can literally copy and paste it. Yes, and then likewise, we've got a really simple list. Where are we at here? Sorry, little tired today. So here we've got rotate list, which comes from this here. If the element being passed in is a list, or if the first thing from the element being passed in is not a keyword, then we assume it's a list, because then we can dispatch on the keyword list and run this very simple map operation. But instead, of course, we don't want this. We want degrees and elements, and you just map rotate degrees over elements like this, and that should fix it. Now, in order to get that to work, we have to actually change this to rotate, not rotate element, and then change all of these. Okay, things are looking good here. I also, when I'm going back into the test namespace, I'll have to check if I actually included group elements in the basics, just to be sure, because I might not have, and this might change how group transforms work, which would be not great, if I'm honest, but I think it'll be okay. But we shall see. We shall see. Again, this won't be needed here. This has to be commented out completely. Okay, let's see what happens. I think it won't work, but let's see. Hope everyone's doing well. Feel free to chime in with questions if you're curious as to what's going on. I'm a little bit quieter and like I'm not verbalizing as much because I'm trying to really think through how to improve the code and actually make things work properly. But if you have questions or want to chat, you go right ahead. I am completely comfortable with that stuff. That's not what I meant to do. Let's do sysman restart and see what's up. So this should fail now, I think, or I should get an error. Sorry, that confuses me. Oh no, we're good, we're good. Here, see, rotate element does not exist. That's what I expect. So I have to fix that. And test namespace, we gotta get rid of rotate element because I've undefined it. It doesn't exist. I changed the rotate element methods all to just rotate. So hopefully we get somewhere with this. Okay, that loads. Repeat 10, rectangle 510, rotate 45A, promising, apply, no, sorry, let's just do rotate 45 first of A, rectangle or a list of rectangles. Okay, that is extremely promising. Let's def B as G of A. So B is a list now wrapped in a group element where A is just a list directly. So let's do seems to work. Okay, so that seems to be good. Let's do load file, no, examples basics.cljc and refresh this. And it looks like nothing is broken with the rotate, which is really encouraging. So I am making good progress here. That feels great. Oh man, I love that. Okay, so now that we've kind of eliminated a few interfacing issues, what would be good to do next? Oh, I know. There's another bit of feedback. Well, actually, let's do this a little bit here. Calcs. Arcs need work. I'll figure that out later. Centroid might be able to do the same list solution. So let's think through that a little bit. I'm trying to think about what is the next best change to make. Bounds and centroid probably should be fixed up similarly to translate and rotate. Let's fix that part, or let's just eliminate, let's just get rid of code now. Feels good. Okay, so before I forget it, I will have to add, okay, I have test group. Right, so maybe let's put trying to think about a basic so test group. Am I not in the right folder? Oh, I have to load file. SVG-CLJ test, main test, CLJC. Where's rotate element? I thought I eliminated that definition. Search forward. Oh yes, now of course I did the same thing as I did with translate earlier. I have to get rid of this, and then this is pretty trivially true because, well, I mean, yeah, it's just gonna be the same, so that's okay, not a big deal. Fine to keep that test in there, right? Let's do this. I'll write it here. Line, path, polygon, polyline, because I don't have a float comparison set up yet. to do, oops, no, I'll do that later. That's fine. Maybe I'll just, no, you know what? I'll get the test working properly at least. So let's do this. If I literally do this, okay, I've got these values, and I'll just copy paste them in, right? It's not perfect, but it's actually, if I do this, if I rotate to say 90, does that give me better numbers? Slightly. I don't love it though. Well, let's do it though. Let's rotate 90. Okay, so x1 is 15, y1 risky biz doing this, x2 -5, y2 15. Okay, so that should be okay at least. Let's now do same here with this. Uh-oh. There. So that, like, what I find a little silly about doing stuff like this is I'm literally just running the function and pasting its value, oops, into the test, right? So all it will achieve is showing me if these stop being true, which isn't necessarily that useful. Why did that happen? I don't know why that zoomed in like that. Weird. Okay, no big deal. Where was I? Polygon. Yeah, okay. And then polyline should actually have, if I do this, it should actually be the same string value there. All right, so let's give that a shot. Let's run those tests, see if things work. We'll find out. No failures. Okay, good. Okay, so we've got some basic rotate stuff going on there successfully. That is okay with me. Next thing I want to work on is the basic, so if I write out test test G. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. Yeah, okay, so it does work. Cool. So if I do map, yeah, this might be a fine way to test this. Translate 510. Map that function over drop 2 of test G, it should be a list, and then if I do, that should be equal to drop 2 test G, drop 2 of translate 510 test G. Those should be equal lists. So that will be how, yes, that's a good idea, I think. I think that's not bad. All right, so let's do that. We'll put that in place. Translate. Yeah, and we'll def test translate group test. And that just has to assert is equal these two things. I want that should be the second one. And then the first one should be this. Oop. No, that's not right. This one. Yes. And then very similarly rotate. Oh, wait a minute, that's not true. It is not true for rotate that those should be equal, because rotate, translate is fine because a group of elements will all translate equivalently no matter what, but the way rotate works is that they're local first, but if you put them in a group, then they translate. Okay, so let's save this test. Good, no failures. That's exactly what I expected. If I do the same kind of thing with rotate, this will fail, or it should fail. And I want to see if that is the case. Rotate 45. This is a weird way to write this. Yeah. Oh, that has to be rotate like this. So I should see one failure in the rotate group test because they're not equal. Exactly. Really messy looking. I also, something went wrong. Something's not. I think there might be some other issues here. Oh, I see. No, never mind. I was getting thrown off. These are gen sims in here. I was just getting a little lost in what it was telling me, but that's okay. It's failing for the reasons that I expect it to fail, which is that mapping rotate on a list will turn all of the things in the list independently from their own local coordinate position, whereas rotating it as a group it will calculate the rotation point of the group as a whole and then rotate from there. So you won't have the same positioning of the elements. So it fails. And that is exactly what I expect, but it makes rotating it I'm trying to think about a clean way to test group rotate working. That's what I'm trying to think through for a minute. Well, so is not equal. Yes, it is. Okay. So we do want this to be the case. We want it to assert that that does not equal that. Then we could maybe add another useful assertion. Let's do rotate 90 test G is equal to let's just copy this whole mess of a data structure. Why not, right? We'll put it out here so it's not gross looking. That's kind of okay for now. That'll be acceptable. It's the bones of a decent test, right? I can always improve it as needed. And here, actually, I don't even need these. Let's get rid of the commas. It's weird that they're there. I don't know. I actually kind of don't know why they put it in the pretty printer for Cider. Maybe it's a function, or pardon me, an option I can change. Oop, there we go. Oop, this one. There we go. Is that more internet stuff?
We got another one.
Fun.
Yeah. We got another one.
Oh, that's sweet. Maybe that one will work. Roommates and I got like an internet upgrade, and we like they've sent us a second second router. We have 3 routers in the house now. Oh well, that's okay. Where was I? Just messing around with getting rid of commas. Okay, let's do this. We've got some working stuff. That is great news. Okay. Okay, now, so we've got reasonable tests for different things. That's okay. Next set of things I want to do is some low-hanging fruit stuff, and that's related to the pattern. I didn't know about string/join, but now I do, and I want to replace a few bits of code so that it's a little bit cleaner, but still produces the same output. And that is going to largely be in the main namespace, if I remember correctly. So what's a good example of this? These specs, I don't really need to see them all, but that's okay. A lot of this is super simple. Here, for example, polyline. Instead of apply string interpose map this whole thing, I can just change it to, well, let me, oops. What? That's weird. That's not, okay, let's see what's going on here. What is happening? That's a little weird. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, I see. Right, so, polyline 0011 does this, and I can, instead of all of this, just cut it way down. With the string/join. Well, let's not worry about that. I will be right back. All right, so I'm gonna snipe a few more easy changes and then get going soon. I'm not gonna stay streaming for too much longer. No such namespace string. Okay, so I must have missed something. Main. Oh, here. I thought I fixed that. Oh. So that's actually helpful. It showed a basic mistake that I made. Polyline, please. That's down. Oh, my brain. Okay. Polygon and polyline, same thing. I need to join it with a space. I forgot that. Yeah, and then copying this line. I can do the same thing here, please. Okay. Let's run this. All right, success. Oh, I know a slightly faster way to find all these things. Let's go to the top here. MX search forward. Interpose is the function I've been using everywhere I need it. Or, I mean, like everywhere, right here, for example. Oh. This is already fixed. This is done. Use string/join instead of interpose. Boom, done. Refer all is deprecated. Not there anymore, I don't think. Let's do, let's double check that. Oh. Now let's keep doing search forward, interpose. Apply string, interpose. Okay, this again. String join this, some vector. Please. Here we go. Let's get in the utils. Yes. Okay, so that is once again. String join. String join. Whoops. Man, there's a lot of these. Nice. Hopefully that didn't like completely screw things up. I think it should be fine, but you never know, right? There we go. All right, let's keep searching. String join, string join. Lots of these freebies. I'll take it. Nice little win for the day, you know. Honestly, today might not seem like a big deal. In fact, it might be a less entertaining stream overall, but this has been extremely good for me. I'm really proud of the improvements I'm making. I'm really happy that I'm nicely integrating some feedback from another viewer. That's very exciting. I am proud of myself for making more progress. That's always a good thing. All right, let's get another interpose out of here. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, here we go, another one. Let's fix that. Apply string interpose can always turn into string slash join, at least in the way I've been using it. And that's nice and clean. And it happens a lot. String join. Uh-oh. Accidentally deleted way too much. String join, there we go. And let's get rid of that sucker there. See here, interpose actually makes sense to use. Okay, fingers crossed that didn't break tests. Oh yeah, that's a win. What a great day. All right, let's okay. Next, I'm gonna do one more little low-hanging fruit thing. I'm gonna search forward for the keyword all to see where it shows up only in the watch namespace. And to be frank, I'm kind of all right with that. I wonder if I even need that. Does the design watcher even work? Excuse me. The design watcher might not actually be working properly right now. To build a nicer interface with Clojure. Is it Clojure.CLI? I wonder. Let's see here. Clojure CLI. Oh, tools. It's /tools.cli. Either that or there are some nice libraries that people have made on top of tools CLI. Or maybe tools CLI is what I'm thinking about. I can't remember. I'll probably just use tools CLI, but that's a thing for another day. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I've had a pretty productive stream. I feel good about the work I've changed up on here. Thanks for tuning in, anyone. If you're watching this after, consider subscribing to my YouTube channels, maybe the Twitch channel, give it a follow, that sort of thing. Send me messages on YouTube, on GitHub, anything like that. If you'd like to interact with me, I read every comment from whatever platform, and I try to be helpful in responding to things. But that's going to be all for me. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you all have a good day, and I will be back, not tomorrow, but I'll be back on Thursday and on Friday. Have a good one. I will be heading out. Goodbye.